In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you how you can build $1 million SaaS in 2025. This is probably the most important video you'll ever watch on SaaS because it'll save you money, it'll save you time, it'll save you a lot of headaches because I've been through the ringer myself. So this is the video I wish I watched when I first got started in the SaaS space. Cover the marketing engine, the product, the sales, and built for scale. So 4 simple steps, but very, very crucial to your SaaS success. So first off, let's start off and let's just get very juicy and talk about exit multiples and why people want to start SaaS companies. If we take a look at all the different business models, e-com, for example, whenever you have an exit in SaaS, it's going to be at a higher multiple than other businesses online. So with e-com, it's usually around 2x EBITDA. So that is based on profit, right? The pros of e-com is it's very scalable with ads. You could achieve 100K months within a couple of weeks of testing products, and it's very easy to do with a good creative and a good product. The cons of that is a lot of e-com companies will face cash flow troubles. They have to manage inventory, they have to have a warehouse, they have to have a big team to package things, and also for marketing, and also for the website as well. So getting into the second business that a lot of people get into is the agency space. So that's around 2 to 3x EBITDA. The pros of this, it's very easy to start and it can replace your income pretty easily, right? You really need 3 or 4 clients and you can hit 10K, 15K a month. The con of the agency space is churn is very, very high and you need a lot of team members in order to scale. But for me, when I was running a local lead gen agency, I needed a media buyer, I needed closers, I needed a customer success manager, and I needed myself. And sales is very, very important in the agency space because it's a very productized space where there's a lot of beginners and they're going to come in at a lower price point. So you really need to differentiate yourself from the competition. And number 3, let's just talk about the SaaS multiples. So SaaS, usually the multiples are 5 to 15x ARR. So that's not based on profit, it's usually based on revenue because it's such a scalable business that any private equity firm that wants to acquire you knows that there's huge potential in cracking other verticals, other horizontals that they can expand into in order to grow that SaaS. Pros of this is it's one of the highest exit multiples you can have in a business. It's infinitely scalable. The MRR just keeps growing. So month after month, you feel like your business is growing, and as long as you have good client retention, right? That's the one caveat. And the product essentially sells itself if you have a good landing page and it solves a big problem in your customers. The cons of this SaaS model is it's hard to start if you have no marketing background. There's slow growth if you don't have marketing dialed in. If you don't know anything about marketing, you're going through the ringer of trying to market your product and nobody's interested. And number 3, the con is it's very easy for competitors to copy features. So your go-to-market and establishing authority in your space needs to be very, very good in order to separate yourself. And we could do that through content, we could do that through partnerships, but you need to have marketing really dialed in order to scale up your SaaS. So pillar number 1, let's talk about the marketing engine. The number 1 thing we should consider before we start any SaaS, before we try to write any lines of code or outsource the development. A lot of SaaS founders I talk to want to solve problems, right? That's a very good thing in the space because nobody's going to buy your product if you don't solve a problem. But they neglect the number 1 crucial step of how do we gather enough attention so we can get that paid subscriptions on a month-to-month basis. How can I reach my desired customer? Is it paid ads? Is it organic YouTube? Is it SEO? Is it cold email? Is it partnerships and affiliates? Depending on the product and the niche that you're in, all this will differ because no customers in the beginning will be coming to you. Nobody knows about you. You don't have an online presence yet. So don't expect to code a SaaS and people just come to you naturally. You have to have a marketing engine that brings consistent attention to your product so that way you can scale up. In the beginning, you're new, you have no case study, you have no online presence, nobody knows who you are, at least yet. So before we build any product, we need to figure out our go-to-market strategy and segment it out to all lead back to paid subscription signups. Only then should we look into the product. If it's hard to find customers and let them know of your product, truth is you're not going to make it very far because you're going to spend 3 to 6 months coding out the MVP only for the product to die out or for you to give up because you don't have enough momentum in terms of your marketing engine. So tech founders, what I've seen, myself as well, I was a software engineer before I got into the online marketing space. So we're very, very technical and we think that once we have a product, people will just come. That's far from the case. Nobody will come to your product if you don't gather enough attention to your product and have a marketing engine that does it on a consistent basis. Pillar number 2 is product. What benefit does the user get whenever they use my product? Do they get more leads? Do they get more sales appointments, save money, save time? And the close closer we are to generating revenue or a customer, the easier it is to sell our product and the easier it is to scale. So more sales generally means more people will use our product. Every business online wants to make more money. So if we can generate them more money and they only pay us a portion, let's say 5%, they pay $500 a month and they generate $100,000 of deals. I would take that deal every single day. And so would all the online businesses that you see online. For the product, we need to think about what niche are we targeting, because it will dictate how much we can even charge the niche. So if it's an app to help college students, for example, versus an app to help lawyers, it'll be two complete different price points, because for a college student to use an app, maybe you can only charge $5 to $10 per month. If it's a lawyer and solves a big problem, you could probably charge anywhere from $500 to $2,000 per month, because one deal landed from a lawyer is going to be a couple tens of thousands for them. Versus for a college student, they're not going to be landing those 5-6 figure deals anytime soon. And for the product, what features does my competitors have, and how can I differentiate myself? What I've seen in the space is a lot of people, they copy the exact same features their competitors have and expect to just take a segment of the market. But whenever you actually talk to customers, a lot of them says, I already know of X solution. How is your solution different from X? So you really need to differentiate yourself with features, whether it's easier to integrate with other integrations in the platform. For example, Zapier or Make, does it integrate into their workflow? They did a workflow easier, or does it potentially niche down into a sub niche at a big market, a big competitor targets? So for example, think of Salesforce for roofers, Salesforce for HVAC, Salesforce for lawyers. And then is it a dying need to have this product, or is it just nice to have? Is it a bleeding neck where if the prospect doesn't have this product, they're going to die? Or is it just a minor inconvenience if they don't have this? So most people think of product and marketing as separate entities, but in reality, product and marketing goes hand in hand, because we need to know what our price point is, then we need to know our niche, then we could tie it back to our product and make that flywheel of marketing, feedback from marketing, diving it into the product, and then vice versa. So pillar number 3 is sales. We really need a unique selling point, because what is the major pain point we're even solving? I see a lot of landing pages. I've gone over a lot of SaaS landing pages, and they keep detailing features that the product is. So we really need to sell the vacation. What is the dream outcome, instead of how are we going to get to a dream outcome, right? We want to sell that trip to Maui instead of the flight from Texas to Maui is going to take 10 hours, right? We need to sell them that on Maui, we're going to have a bunch of beaches, a bunch of cocktails you can drink, and it's going to be a good vacation, instead of a 10-hour flight where the baby might be crying and their legs hurt because there's not enough leg room, right? So we need to sell the vacation. In demo calls, we need to talk to prospects about that major pain point. So how do they feel at the moment handling X workflow that our software is trying to solve? And what would it mean for their business if X workflow was done automatically or minimized by our software? How would they feel? And if it's a lower ticket item, we need to have a profitable way to generate attention. And if it's a higher ticket item, we need to ask ourselves, can we place a commission-based closer eventually? Lower ticket, generally to scale up in terms of sales, it's more so informing our prospect about our product and the problem it solves. In terms of higher ticket, a lot of the people that you hop on calls with are going to be business owners. So if your day-to-day kind of looks like coding and also doing demo calls, if it's high ticket, we could give 10% of the deal size to the closer, and the closer can handle all of the sales calls for you. So you as the founder can focus on the product, and revenue will keep getting generated by the sales team if it's a higher ticket item. On top of sales, how do we really educate our prospects, like I mentioned before? In terms of a lower ticket item, how do we teach our prospects about the solution we're trying to solve? So think about this. The softwares you're currently using for your business, you probably heard about it somewhere online. And the first time you heard about it, you probably did not sign up for that. You probably signed up after the third or fourth time of talking about it, or of people talking about it, or if a YouTube video you watch and an influencer or authority in the space was talking about it and how it helped with X workflow. We need to create a flywheel of attracting new attention, selling them through content. So whenever they hop on the demo call, they're already pre-sold. They know what the product does. They know it'll solve X workflow. It's more so of a pricing thing and to answer any outstanding questions they have regarding our software. Then only we'll walk them through our software and show them the features to solve that X workflow. If they have a pain point in X and your software solves XYZ, you need to sell them on X, right? Because they don't really care about Y and Z feature. X feature is their main pain point. So in the demo call, we need to sell them on that main pain point that they have. So pillar number 4 is built for scale. SaaS is scalable by nature. Only thing you have to do, maybe you have to bump up the instances on AWS or anything else related to scaling up the amount of users you can handle. But churn isn't going to be a benefit to your SaaS if you have very high churn. In the beginning, we need user feedback because churn is probably going to suck the first couple of months. People are going to sign on, very excited, and they're going to drop off. I've heard SaaS founders, they have in the beginning 15 to 20% churn on a good day. And on a month-to-month basis, that means we have to acquire more and more customers in order to grow. So fixing churn and getting that below 5% is our best key to scaling up our SaaS to $1 million. You need to find drop-off points in the workflow where people are dropping off and churning. Is it the onboarding where people are confused about the product, they don't know how to use it? Or is it the UI or UX? There's too many buttons, they don't know which buttons to click. Or does the SaaS not provide the results they were looking for? From there, we can make the product more sticky to the point where their business cannot function without our SaaS. Whether it's adding more integrations natively or it's tying back the result to the problem they're trying to solve. We need to make our product very sticky, so on a day-to-day basis, our software is directly integrated with their workflow. So after that, and only after that, your word of mouth and organic growth is going to go crazy. Because once churn is fixed, we have product market fit, we start building features that can scale vertically or horizontally into other segments of the market. If you have a sales force for roofers, we could scale into HVAC, we could scale into lawyers, we could scale into pool builders, and that's where you really unlock another source of revenue for your business, right? Because you're targeting a whole different segment. They have the same problems. You just need to tailor a solution to their problem. And that's how your MLR just goes exponential and you achieve that hockey stick growth. So on top of that, if you have a CRM, for example, maybe people that use your software, roofers, also need a proposal software. Every single time they have a lead in, you have them automatically book an appointment. And after that, they have to use another software to send a proposal out. So after that, we just do more of what's currently working. And if it's a part of their workflow, we can integrate natively into their current workflow and solve that problem as well. And on top of that, we can make more money off our SaaS. We'll charge an extra $100, $200 a month and just grow that LTV per customer. And from there, if we have an engine that's currently working with the marketing engine, we can always double down on what's currently working, or we can also test out other traffic sources. So if organic is working very well, maybe you could throw some paid ads in the mix. With paid ads and organic, it's going to be a different funnel that you need to use, because with paid ads, generally you're going to lose money maybe the first month unless your sales is very good or unless your pricing is very good. So you could acquire that first customer and also acquire that second and third from the revenue that's generated. And if paid ads are working well, maybe you could also start an affiliate program and produce that organic content. So whenever people search up X workflow on YouTube, you'll be ranking number 1, number 2 on YouTube SEO. So if acquiring customers through organic is very good, we could double down. I hope this video helps regarding us talking about the marketing engine, the product, the sales, and then built for scale. If you're interested in working with us, we're going to make everything that we talk about in this video for your product done for you. So if you're interested and you're above 10, 15, 20K per month in your SaaS, click the link down below to book a call with myself, and we could walk you through how we would build that market engine, a product that built for scale and sales side of your SaaS business. If you're currently below 10K per month, we also have a free school community that could join down below. In the school community, we're going to give you free resources on how you can get to that 10K per month, eventually partner with us as well. So I'll see you in the next video. I hope this video helped. Leave a comment, leave a like if this video helped you out, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.